There's certain types of banners on the latex printer that are very printable, but you're going to have to take into consideration the way the printer works in order to advance the banner sufficiently to avoid head strikes. What I'm referring to is a class of banner that I'll call either very thin or very lightweight, and then along that class is a subclass of inside print banners. So what I'm referring to would be like an 8-ounce or a 10-ounce scrim banner. So you're looking at very inexpensive, thin scrim banner, lightweight. And then if those banners are inside print, by inside print I mean this banner here is a Latex banner. It's an 18-ounce, and it's a blockout, so you can print on either side. Now most banners, it's very clear one side is the printable side. On a latex printer, if you have a choice, try to find an outside print. You want to print on the outside. It'll travel through the printer better than if it's on the inside. There's several reasons. One is an inside print banner can get kind of stuck in the little opening hole where you're coming off the platen. So you have to roll it far enough to be past there. Otherwise, this inside is too at risk to kind of get stuck there. And then just the whole way a banner travels, it passes having a natural curve. The natural curve is always going to print better on the outside, or sometimes people call it the forward side of the banner. That is always a better choice if you have the choice. Now the printer will print inside print banner fine, but in most cases with inside print banner, since I don't want to risk having it get stuck and then head strike, is I will roll it out the platen until it's out here a bit, or at least into the actual curing zone. I don't want to have it feed into the little opening from the print zone into the curing zone. Those are my strongest recommendations. Also, with some inside print, I'll also put the edge guards on, because being an inside print, it may have a little bit of a curl coming up, and I don't want to have the print heads or the carriage touch it. Now, for thinner banners, 10-ounce, 8-ounce, you got some other issues. What happens as you're printing on a very thin banner is as it's going through the printer, there are, as you see right here, there are fans. And these fans create a certain amount of airflow. And that airflow pulls the banner upward. So you're running along back at the pinch rollers with a 8-ounce or a 10-ounce banner, inside or outside print. Now, most outside print 10-ounce will get through, but it's close. So it's feeding along, everything's going fine, it's printing, no issues. And then the banner gets into this curing zone, and two things happen. There's a certain amount of static electricity, and along with it, these fans are pulling upward. The banner is very light. It's worse if it's an inside print. And it comes into the curing zone, and it comes up. The fans actually kind of pull it up. You can get down there if you can bear to watch it. You watch it come up, and then when it does, it pulls the banner up. That lift pulls it all the way back to the print path and head strike. Okay, I'm here to tell you how to avoid that. The way you avoid it is you roll the banner down just a little past the platen. Now that front edge is not subjected to that lift, and the weight, there's a little bit of weight there, and it will go through just fine. But you're going to have to use a little bit of the media on the front end if you want to avoid that possibility. Those are my recommendations, certainly for an 8-ounce, and also for 10-ounce, certainly if it's a 10-ounce inside print. You roll it down a bit, let the weight drop, and you should be fine. You don't want to put a lot of vacuum on it. You don't need a lot of vacuum. It's a light banner. You also don't want to put too much heat on it. Try to keep the heat light on that. I would go a little slower, like an 8 or a 10 pass. I would bring the heat back, maybe 90, 100% ink. You should be just fine. Yeah, every banner is a little different. You want to find the right balance with a lower temperature signature by putting enough ink on that satisfies the customer's quality, and then bring the speed down just a little bit so that it compensates for having a lower temperature. Those are 8-ounce and 10-ounce thin banners. Most 13-ounce banner, it's not really an issue. If it's inside curl on any banner, I tend to at least roll it in some degree of the curing zone because I don't want that front edge to get stuck into that little opening. On a 560, 570, you also have to consider the exit door. You got to be able to get through the first part and then the second part as well. So these are considerations for thin banner, 8 and 10 ounce, that also frequently has a very little light scrim to it, and then also can be inside print. As you get into a 13 ounce outside print, the weight of the banner is enough that when it goes through that zone and the air is there, it can't lift it up because the banner has enough weight. And it really seems to be mostly a banner issue. I haven't really seen this with other materials. Just a heads up on light banners, how to run them, what you're going to have to do to get a little bit of a workaround on this curing zone.